At least twice a day to individuals. Make those appointments, sit down with people, whether it be at breakfast in the morning, before, if you have a job going to work, maybe at lunch, that you take somebody out to lunch, during your working hours, and then that evening take unproductive time and turn it into productive time. And that 2 a day was really a major factor in my success in the world of Legal Shield. I made a conscious decision every single day I was going to do 2 presentations a day on the membership, and if they had the opportunity to elevate that into the recruiting side of it, I went ahead along with that. And then I went back and I started looking at what is the support system was the weekly meeting. So this little formula, 2 plus Andrew David, 2 a day, and plus weekly meeting was really the foundation of how I built the business. And I continue to do that every day. Get in front of people, invite them to the meeting. Get in front of more people, invite them to the meeting. And that way they got a very good exposure to what our business model was, and then we're in the learning curve and in the growing curve. There's 2 curves, a learning curve and a growing curve. Okay, if you're in both those curves, work in conjunction with each other. I learned to get better at what I was doing to grow faster in the business, and every time I would go back to that and look at that, again, it helped my business model grow. So fundamentals, I'm going to challenge all of you to get back to the block, tackle, run, and catch of your business model. Don't complicate your business. This might sound a little silly to some of you, but you didn't need a manual to drive your car. All right, you didn't need that. Okay, and sometimes we sit down and we got to know everything about everything. That's why we have such great teams in the business of the Global Legal Shield. We have corporate headquarters. We have the answers available to everybody in this business, no matter what they are. So if you don't know the answer, you just be honest with people. Say, look, I'm not sure I know the answer to that, but we do have people, whether it be the person that's above me, that's one of my top executive directors could answer that, or possibly somebody at the home office can answer that. We're here as a team to work together, and that's the beauty of it. Home office, sales force, the law firms, we're all a team effort.
So Dave, if you were to key in on one important thing, what would that be?
It'd be number 1 is learning how to do a presentation. And how do you learn how to do a presentation? Well, you practice. Are you going to screw up the first few times you do it? Sure you are. But you know what? The prospect here in front of you has no idea whether it was a good or a bad one. When I first did my first presentation, my wife looked and said, I ain't getting it. She said, it's terrible the way you presented this. And I said, well, stick around. I'll keep trying. And the more I did it, the better that I got at it. So learn a presentation. How do you learn a presentation? Well, you learn it by practicing. And today we obviously have all the tools available for everybody. We have PowerPoints. We have the CDs available for you. We have DVDs. We have the internet. We have everything available for everybody here to learn how to do it. So, but again, that's the key, is learning how to do a presentation. And you do it over and over again. Now just remember this statement. The playing field never changes, but the spectators do. So the point I'm trying to make is that playing field, whatever sport that you enjoy, basketball, football, baseball, whatever it might be, is the same as it was 100 years ago. But there's different spectators in those games. Right? So when you're learning to do a presentation, find out what's comfortable for you, what you enjoy, and continue to present it in the same way. Don't continue to change. Just change the spectators, because all we have to do is put different audiences in front of us each and every day, and the results will come. We're not on trial as a company. We've been around for 41 years. We know it works. We know the success of what we've got. But I had to learn how to do a presentation, and you learn that by practicing. So sometimes you might just call a friend of yours up and say, by the way, I just got involved in a very exciting company called Legal Shield. I'd like to stop by because I need some practice, and I want to present this to you and see what your opinion of it is. It may be a good one, it may be a bad one, okay? And that's another way of prospecting, but I won't get into that. But anyway, the point being is that the number 1 thing is learn how to do a presentation, and then do it on a regular basis, and there's no question you become better at what it is. If you're going to be a great baseball hitter, you better go to the batting cage every day. If you're going to be a great at any sport that you ever want to be great at, you just have to get after it every day. And you're going to fall down, pick back up, and the presentation.
There's 3 action points that everybody needs to do when they first get started up in this business. Number 1, always remember, exposure is everything. I heard that countless times when I was coming up in this business. My mentor always said, exposure is everything. Basically, prospecting is everything. It's the front door or the floodgate that you need to open up your business. If you have no new prospects that are being introduced to the information, you have no chance of new memberships and new recruits. So we always have to remember that we have to be great prospectors. If there's a skill that you need to learn, more than anything, is how to get you and your team finding new prospects to share the information with. Because again, you can have the best presentation skill and the best closing skill, but if you have no new prospects, it never even comes into play. So, and by the way, you'll never run out of prospects if you simply work with the list of the associates that you bring on board. You know, one new associate, that's why I say you're one recruit away from a financial explosion. All you need to do is go find one new associate, bring that person on board, they make a list of 100 people, their warm market is now your warm market, because now you've got that mutual contact, that mutual friend that can actually either introduce you to those people and invite you over to come do their PBR, to do their PCC, or maybe that associate maybe not even actively pursuing the business, they're not even making the contact, but if you can get their list, you still now have 100 warm prospects because you can drop their name and make the calls on their behalf versus that person disappearing with their list with them. And then the second thing is fortunes in the follow-up. It's one thing to expose somebody, to give them a DVD or send them a link or have them check out a presentation. And unfortunately, that person, it might be interested, but if you don't follow up and strike while the iron's hot, their interest level is going to wane and die. So exposure is everything. Fortune is in the immediate follow-up. And I would also subject to you that it's not just the immediate follow-up, but it's the persistent and consistent follow-up. Some of the folks I've signed up over the years were people that I followed up for 6 months with, and some of them I followed with for 6 years. Matter of fact, somebody I just signed up 2 months ago, I had talked to this person for about 13 years, and they finally saw the light. See, when somebody goes on my list, they don't come off my list and let's say sign up or they die. Okay, and I don't wish anybody the second. So my belief is that they're going to eventually see the value in this membership. They're eventually going to see an opportunity for themselves to change their life in some fashion, whether it be more time freedom or more financial freedom. So exposure is everything. Fortune is in the immediate follow-up, the consistent and persistent follow-up. And thirdly, work with the willing. You know, I've found a lot of people that have joined me in this business didn't stick around because they weren't willing to go out there and do what we just talked about. They either weren't coachable or they weren't willing to put forth the effort. So I found that sometimes as sponsors, we gravitate toward the people that need our help because they're not willing to go learn to do it on their own. So we help the needy. Don't help the needy. Okay, show them why they need to plug into the system. Work with the willing. Work with the ones that deserve your time, not the ones that need your time. You know, our job, if you want to build a massive business, is to develop other people.
October 14th, 2014, right on time.
Money flows to the leader. So you want to become a leader and you want to help develop other people in the leaders. How are you going to do that? You're not going to do it. Like I said, it's easier to run with 100 people than to drag one dead person. So if you're working with somebody who's needy, constantly grab a hold of your time. When I first got started, my roommate from college, I brought him into the business. He lived in my house with me. And I dragged him to my home. I dragged him.
Hey, beautiful. How's my little princess doing?
Good.
Seatbelt. Alright, let's go. How are you?
Good.
Missed ya. I didn't see you all weekend or hear from you or see you. You didn't call to say hi or Daddy, I got a booger in my nose or anything else. I miss my little girl.
Daddy,
What?
I took a nap before I came, so
You did?
we're good.
Oh, we're good, huh?
Yeah.
So now we don't have to call you Fartzilla?
Really?
Yeah, Fartzilla.
Okay, fine.
Okay, Fartzilla. Made you fart like Godzilla with your Fartzilla. How's school?
Good.
What'd you do the last 2 days?
Well, we have a, what is that? Hold on. Well, it's something like this writing and poetry thing, and we put our writing and poetry in it, and we can
A haiku?
and we can show everyone what we did, and guess what?
What?
And guess what?
What?
I colored the front of mine frozen.
Oh, awesome. I watched Frozen today. You do haikus? Is that what it's called, a haiku?
No,
Is it like a Japanese thing?
no. It's poetry, I think.
Well, do you remember any of the poetry?
No, I didn't get to write in it any.
I remember a poem. You want me to remember a poem that I remembered when I was your age?
I can write a poem.
I can say a poem. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. My little horse must think it's queer to stop without a farmhouse near.
Hey, you should print that.
It's not mine. That actually is by Robert Frost. I got books of poetry at home. I got all kinds of books of poetry at home. Just
Maybe
like
when I get older, so I can write one of your poetry.
here. How about this one? How about an easy one?
Okay.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
I already know that one.
Gracie did fart. How about you? Is that a good one?
Yes.
No, it goes roses are red, violets are blue. I just want you to know that I'm thinking of you.
Yeah, that's it. I know that song.
Micah and Daddy
Don't get along.
live by a tale.
The cause.
They want to strangle each other without avail. Mommy is mean, Daddy is sweet. Mommy wants him to rub her nasty feet. Daddy is single and has but one daughter, who is pride and joy for all to enlarge her. Her name is Gracie Ann.
She's a farthead.
She's got a big nice. If she's not nice, Daddy will count to twice. He does his Japanese, he does his Spanish, but Gracie does not know what he's talking about or not.
Maybe
So
I can write a poem.
What'd you do over the weekend?
Well, hold on. Well, we went to church.
Okay.
And I made this little thing where it's a you know that thing with what, 2 humps? A
Camel?
Yeah, and we made little paper pins to make it stand up.
You did that at church?
Yeah, and I put it in my little purse.
Church sounds like more like an art project than an actual church.